Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Plaid Stallions Toy Ventures. My name is Brian, and as you can see, I have been on the road again. I actually did a couple of trips with the missus, and we did a little bit of toy hunting, and I thought I'd share my finds and my discoveries as well. Our first stop is the Toronto Toy and Nostalgia Show. This is an annual show. I find it a bit eclectic in the fact that there really usually is some cool nostalgia there, not just toys. It's also, as a bonus, near our old university, which is nice for us to go down memory lane. This year was just packed. And unfortunately, a lot of my footage didn't come out, mainly due to the cramped spaces. There were a lot of people there. It was very busy. So I got a lot of blurry photos, but I did manage to take a few really good ones, so we will do a very short montage of this. Then I can go over the item I wish I'd picked up and actually what I got, because this show paid off big time for me and I'm really excited to share. So let's talk about the Toronto Toy and Nostalgia Show. Hang tight. So that was my regrettably truncated look at the Toronto Toy and Nostalgia Show. There really was a lot of amazing vintage to be purchased here, and I made out like a bandit, but this one haunted me. It is a AHI, or Azrak Hamway International, Star Trek phaser pistol squirt gun on a very rare Canadian card. I don't see these on Canadian cards very often. These are hard to find even on the American cards, and considering Canada probably had like 5 to 10% of that production run, it's not surprising that I haven't seen a lot of these. However, I really couldn't justify its purchase because I had just spent a ton of money with the vendor himself in purchasing 2 new carded Mego Canadian packaged figures. I am mildly obsessed with tracking down Mego figures in their Grand Toys Canadian packaging, and I've been doing this for decades, especially lines like Comic Action Heroes, Star Trek, Black Hole, and Buck Rogers, but I even collect Canadian carded Love Boat figures, so I have a thing going on here. And you really don't find that many out in the wild. Even though I live in Canada, they're tough to find. So any year I end up with one new figure in the set, no matter how common, is a good year to me. And thankfully, I found 2 new additions in the form of Dr. Reinhardt from the Black Hole. And right now, what I'm going to show you is my Canadian carded Black Hole collection. This is like 25 years of trying to track these down. This is all the ones I've found, and I'm very happy with that. And if you want to part with any I don't have, you can always drop me a line. Of these figures, I would have to say Maximillian is my absolute favorite, and that's mainly because of this price tag where KMart had marked everything down to $1. I remember that day in 1981. It was a good day for 10-year-old Brian, let me tell you that. I have in the past kind of paid more than I would for a US card on a couple of these, just because you do not see them that very often, and it makes it more special to me. And Buck Rogers' Tiger Man was the other character I was so elated to get at this show. I always really liked Buck Rogers, and Tiger Man is one of my favorite characters, so that really, really helps. In fact, I like both these characters. I like Dr. Reinhardt and Tiger Man, and I would have been really excited to bring home Harry Booth, Ernest Borgnine, and Dr. Hewer, but it's somehow better that I really like this character. And here's my Buck Rogers collection. I've actually found 2 Buck Rogers figures this year on the Canadian cards, so it's been a banner year. I love little niches like this. These figures aren't rare by any means on an American card. You can find them, and even then, these weren't that expensive for me to purchase. But it is just little victories like this that keep toy collecting interesting. So while I did okay at this show, my wife isn't really a toy collector so much as she's into, vintage mid-century Christmas and Halloween. And, well, there just weren't those dealers this year. It was kind of a surprise, actually, because she's always made out like a bandit. So we decided to hit the road and go to one of our favorite antique malls in Barrie, Ontario called Sanford & Son and see if there was anything new and exciting there. And, yeah, it didn't disappoint. There was a lot of neat stuff there. So let me give you yet another tour, and then we'll go through the pickups I had there. Hang tight. Just a quick reminder that if you like this channel and what we do, please consider checking out our shop. We not only have 11 issues of Toy Ventures magazines, but toy books, officially licensed action figures, and collector pins. Thanks very much for considering. So the first thing I want to mention, other than the complete shock of running into Clint Howard merchandise, was seeing my own book at an antique mall. I can't tell you a greater compliment than that. Just made me feel great. The book was enjoyed, and now it is being passed on to someone else, and the person, obviously, judging by their booth, was a big fan of the genre, and I really considered that a wonderful omen. I didn't have a lot of pickups this week, mainly because I forgot about the Dragon Riders of Styx figure, but I did manage to grab this wonderful Superpowers Red Tornado figure. This is not for me, I don't collect Superpowers, but my friend does, and my goodness, it was just so lovely, and the price was right. It was about, I'd say $25 American, which just totally worked for me. The other purchase I made was this fantastic 1990s collectibles book. I passed on this in the day because I didn't really think it had the same value as, say, something by KMart or written by John Marshall. This one was a little weird, but, you know, for the price at this antique mall, it was amazing. There was a lot of photos. I haven't seen some of this stuff in a long time, so it's good to keep this stuff analog, as they say. The design is a little, you know, 1990s workman-like, and we've certainly come a long way, but still, I was happy to have this for what equated to less than, you know, about $5 Canadian. So that's all the time we have on Toy Ventures this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd love to know your feedback. Let me know what you would have picked up at either the show or at the antique mall, and let me know in the comments below, or hit me up in our Facebook group Pod Stallions, where this is what we talk about. Thanks as always for watching. If you're new to this, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It helps us out. If you're not new to this, thanks for watching to the end and for liking it. I really appreciate it. Until next time, be well and talk toys, not other people. Cheers.